that, you know, now it's sorted. So now I think we won't have any more problems. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It's really echoing.
Yeah, because he has to close from that side. Can you close it?
Yeah.
Okay. So can we just? Yes. Now it's okay. Yeah. Do you
I
hear?
cannot hear you now. It's very distant.
You can't hear me now?
Maybe she should turn on her.
Can you put it? Can Vinata Prabhu? Can you hear me?
Yes, very good.
Oh.
Anandamayi Prabhu.
Try to raise the volume of your phone or whatever it is.
Yes.
Device.
Put your volume up.
Up. Up.
Can you hear us now?
I cannot hear you.
Oh.
Ah.
I think tonight's not meant to be.
No, there is. Not such a
My
thing.
husband is not giving up though. Can you hear me now?
Very, very, very vague, very distant,
I
very
think
quiet.
it's not from us.
Okay.
I think it's not from us. It's from her side.
Yeah, but
Vinata
it's okay.
is hearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Prabhuji,
Oh,
I'll give you a course on phones.
Can you hear me now?
I should put on headphones.
No, no.
Should I use it?
Yeah, try with your headphones. Actually, try with your headphones. Let me see if she tries. Get away.
Phone on.
Can you speak now?
Phone off.
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's perfect. Now I can hear everything. Finally.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm
Yes,
so sorry.
thank you.
No, it's all right. Huh? Okay, yeah. One more thing. He will share the screen so that you can see my screen. With where is where my quotes are?
We'll go to it.
Share screen there.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you see the screen of Jayanti?
Yes,
Okay.
I can see it.
Vinata Prabhu, can you see it?
What, Bluetooth, another device?
Yeah, that's my screen. Yeah. Okay, now it will go away. Why the Bluetooth is there?
I'll take it out.
Okay. This has to go down. Or maybe just press this. Okay.
Wait.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, so you can see the quotes, yeah? Can you?
Yes, yes, perfect, perfect.
Yeah. Great. Okay, dear Vaishnavis, I'm so sorry that it took so long.
I mean, it was me actually, not you.
No, it's all right. I mean, yeah. I think from all of us, Vinata Prabhu is the most organized, kind of, the most together. All right. So, yeah, we can start then. Yeah, so we had a small conversation while my husband was trying to connect you with Vinata, and she actually said, following our discussion last time, if you remember, you asked, is it the only, is that the only way or the most important way? Can other processes work too? Do you remember that was your question?
Of course.
Yeah, yes. And she shared, let me see if I will be able to, maybe I will read that because it's easy. I don't know how now to go to database and, I'll messed up everything here. I will read it. So from Bhagavad Gita, from 10 chapter, 10 verse, she shared from the purport, the last paragraph she shared. I'll read that for you. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization, but still, if he is not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instruction so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulties. The qualification is that a person always engage himself in Krishna consciousness and with love and devotion render all kinds of services. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be with love. If a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress on the path of self-realization, but is sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain to him. So the understanding of Vinata Prabhu was that if the devotees who join the organization, they have a spiritual master, but their abilities, they don't have the abilities or they're not very scholarly, they're not very Brahminical, they don't have that scholarly attitude, then for them, that's her understanding, I'm just reflecting it, for them Prabhupada recommends to just engage in all different kinds of physical services, and like that slowly they will make progress. Is that what were your understanding?
Mine?
Yeah, yours, yeah.
Yeah, my understanding is that they should, Prabhupada says, do all kinds of services, do some kind of physical work with devotion, he said, sincere, with the right attitude. With right attitude, if they do it, then Krishna will help them from within. They don't take advantage from the scriptures and the spiritual master because of some inability, but still they can advance because Krishna will help them from within, provided they act in such a way as Prabhupada has described.
Yeah, so that was your understanding, that actually if they do different kind of physical work, even if they don't study scriptures or they don't hear them as regularly, they still can advance because Krishna will guide them inside. That's your understanding.
I don't know if I didn't say that they don't hear regularly, but definitely they don't study. They don't study in a way that...
Okay, so you make difference between study and hearing. For you, study is different, and here they might hear lectures and this and that, but not really sitting and diving deep into the scriptures. They might not do that, but still they can make advancement if they're sincere.
Yeah.
So that's what she shared, and I didn't share the quote which I shared with you. Because that was your question, and I thought that she doesn't have any doubts on that, but I can still share it with her. But I think, I don't know, how do you feel? Do you feel that we should stay on that point, or we should continue with the slides? Both of you, I want to know what do you feel? So I don't want to take a decision on my own. Shall we stay? Shall I try to share the other quote or not? Or shall we go? Shall we discuss this one? What is your opinion?
I would be very happy if we would come to some kind of conclusion with this, because this just confirms the my doubt or my question.
Your doubt, yeah. So you want to stay? You still want to stay on that point? How about you?
Or we can return later to this point as you like, but just don't forget it. Don't just forget it.
Okay. Yeah. How about you, Vinata Prabhu? What do you think? What is your opinion?
I mean, I brought it up because I thought it was connected with what we spoke.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought if you don't have some fixed plan that you have to pursue, that you have to go, that if you don't have, then we can discuss this. And if you do have, then I comply with whatever you decide.
I personally would like to continue with the slides because we hardly covered anything. We just covered three slides, and maybe in the process of covering the slides, maybe that doubt will clear out. If not, then maybe we can come back to it. What is that acceptable for both of you?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So we are continuing, and the doubt is still there. Why the sadhu sangha stays the most important? Is it not that we can make advancement with any other process? The 9 process of devotional service. Is it necessary completely to have the sadhu sangha and the study of the scriptures? But bear in mind that in the understanding which Vinata brought, she brought 2 different, like study deeply, like scholarly, and going, and the other one is just hearing lectures. You just hear them, but it's not necessary that a lot stays with you. You just, I mean, something stays, but not like, because if the person is not very, very intellectual, that was her understanding. Then, according to that quote in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada's purpose, but I didn't discuss that. I mean, I would like to, unpack it nicely, and then we can come to the conclusion, which we don't have time to do it now. So maybe we will leave it. Yeah. For now, are you happy with that?
Just wanted to say one thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly Anandamayi's doubt is, but my conviction actually, not doubt, because I said I have a conviction, I don't have a doubt. My conviction is that sadhu sangha is the most important, but this way of sadhu sangha, where we are reading and studying and repeating and analyzing, is not, in my opinion, is not the only way of advancement. But sadhu sangha, I mean, we serve in sadhu sangha together, we worship together, we chant together, all kinds of things we do together. So sadhu sangha is definitely the most important, in my opinion, but not necessarily this format of sadhu sangha as we are having now is not necessarily the only way for everybody. That's my point.
Okay.
This
So
this is
yeah.
exactly my point as well. It's exactly how I would put it as well.
All right. So let me reflect that back. So for you, sadhu sangha is the most important, but in your opinion, your understanding, Vinata Prabhu, and also in Anandamayi, because you agree that there are different kinds of sadhu sangha, different ways how you can associate with sadhus. So for you, I assume when you say different ways, you said we serve together maybe by serving manually, rendering physical service, or I don't know, cleaning or cooking for them, or that also is considered in your understanding sadhu sangha. Is that what you mean by sadhu sangha? First, let's make that clear.
I said we chant together, we worship together. That's all sadhu sangha for me.
Yeah.
Because kirtan is chanting together, so that's sadhu sangha. There is a worship on the altar, and there are devotees who are coming to the darshan or to the arotek, and the same benefit is for the one who is worshipping and for those who are watching. So that's also sadhu sangha.
Okay. Okay.
In
Yeah.
my,
So
in
for you,
my,
all the processes done together,
yeah.
this is all included in sadhu sangha. Everything.
Yes,
if you go to the temple or not to the temple, if you're together with devotees doing kirtan, that's sadhusanga. If you worship the deities together with other devotees, that also is sadhusanga. If you're cooking together or you're going to book distribution, that's also sadhusanga. So all that for you is sadhusanga.
Yes, all the activities, all 9 angas of bhakti, all 9 processes of devotional service, when it is possible to perform them together, for me that is sadhusanga. I mean, smaranam would be a little bit difficult to do together. I don't know how, maybe it's possible, I'm not well versed in that. But most of them, when we do together, that's sadhusanga. I don't think sadhusanga is when we just sit together and watch television or something or take pictures.
Of course,
but
that's what I said. All the devotional activities which we do, if we do them together with other devotees, for you that's sadhusanga. So for you that's important, but you don't think that necessarily sitting together and studying the scriptures the way, like trying to understand each other, to reflect back, this and that, you don't think that that's for everyone. That's maybe for intelligent devotees or for not intelligent, but people who have that inclination, devotees who have that inclinations more.
Not exactly. I think everybody can take part in it, but I don't think that is the only way for everybody. So it can be there, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not the only way. Some people will not take advantage of this, even if they try, in my opinion, some devotees. They will not be able to focus on it, to do it, because of their conditional nature. And they are not lost for Krishna. They have other activities by which they can approach Krishna and get his mercy.
I agree.
Okay. All right. So let me reflect that back. So you're saying that yes, they can take part, but maybe they won't do it as serious as some of the other processes of sadhusanga. And just because that's not they don't have capacity to do it, or that's they don't have inclination to do things like that. So for them, Krishna have given other processes.
I mean, Krishna has given other processes also for us, but for them, these other processes can be.
I know that Krishna is giving. The point is, I'm trying to reflect what you're saying, and you're making a point for them. Obviously, it's for us as well, but because you are making a point that they won't be able to take it, because you said they don't have that inclination. So for them, other processes will make the same as for us, for example, sadhusanga, that not sadhusanga, that type of sadhusanga.
Yes. The other, I don't know if it will be the same. I mean, in the process of doing it, but the end result, coming back to Krishna, that they, in my opinion, they can get through these other processes by Krishna's grace, because in this purport, Prabhupada says that Krishna will help them from within.
Okay.
Maybe they will not get all these kind of things which we get inspiration and insight in the scriptures and understanding of intricacies and mutual coming closer to each other and becoming maybe even happier in their everyday life. Maybe they will not get all these things which we can get through this way of studying, but the reason why we are studying all this is to get Krishna Prema, and they will also get Krishna Prema in their own way by Krishna's grace.
So you think that not all the jivas will go through the same process of getting Krishna Prema. Some will do one thing, the other will do different things, but we're all gonna get Krishna Prema. It depends on our inclination. We're gonna engage, depending on how we incline. That's how we're gonna engage, and that's how we're gonna get Krishna Prema.
Yes, provided it is in the boundaries of these 9
Yeah,
processes.
that's what, yeah, I'm talking
Yes,
about the 9 process. Yes, yeah.
yes,
So,
yes.
okay, so I don't share completely the same understanding. I do agree. I do respect your way of seeing it, and the reason why I don't see it in that way, I don't understand it in that way, is that there are quotes where Prabhupada says that everything is based on hearing and chanting. And he explains, I can take out now the quotes and show you that I show Anandamayi one of those, but I have more like that. That unless you have sufficient and proper hearing and chanting, you can't be successful with any of the other process. And it's simply like that you can go on the altar, you can worship the deities, and while you're worshiping and doing charity, you can think of something else very easily. Very, very easily. You can go and cook for Krishna. You can go and distribute books for Krishna and still very easily worry about your electricity or whatever. I don't know. You know, there's so many things we can worry. So unless we learn to be in samadhi constantly, which comes with the process of smaranam, remember constantly Krishna, other processes won't bear fruit. They just won't. So that's my understanding. I don't force it on anyone, and I don't think that everyone has to share it. Just the way how I see things, and this is what I read. And this particular quote here, if we read the verse, we have to read the verse and see what the verse is saying and what Prabhupada is commenting on. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love. But the previous one is the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So that's the previous verse Krishna is saying. And then he said, to those who are constantly devoted to me in service, like that, like he said before, I give the understanding by which they come to me. So yes, we do have 9 processes, and they are all valuable, and obviously we have to execute them. But the root cause, which is the next verse, which we're gonna cover, the root cause is still this hearing and chanting. Without that, I don't think that it's possible, because the consciousness has to get purified, the consciousness. And the consciousness is purified by hearing. That's the main thing. And how we hear, it's another question we have to discuss, how we hear. Because we can see it, we can hear a lot, but retain or very little can touch our heart. So yeah, that's my understanding. So
What
I don't
about
know.
chanting? Yeah, what about chanting Hare Krishna? That's also hearing, and
Yes,
it's also Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam. And
yes.
that can be done with the right motivation and the pure motivation and not pure, and so on and so on. We know that. And the same thing can be said to, as you said, it depends a lot on your motivation and where are you when you perform these activities. The same way, while we are doing this exercise, I'm now the devil's advocate. This can also become an intellectual stimulation, an intellectual exercise without the devotion. So we can do this as well without the devotion if the internal motivation is not right. And maybe somebody can, through the chanting of Hare Krishna, can attain the same if he does it with devotion.
Okay, so you're saying that doing that type of
Okay.
Can I just try to understand her, because she's raising a question, and then you can add if you want later. So you're saying that, okay, so you're trying to play a devil's advocate and said, okay, but chanting Hare Krishna also could be hearing and chanting. And you said it also chanting Hare Krishna, we can, if we don't have the right motivation, always is not going to work. And the same thing, that's what we are trying to do here. If the motivation is not right, it's not going to work. So obviously the motivation is the prime thing. Is that what you're saying, Anandamayi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why if we learn how to discuss with devotees nicely, politely, gently, respectfully, and learn to hear and to appreciate the other points of view, this will help us to develop right motivation and right qualities. Otherwise, we may go on for years, without actually even touching to our anarthas, which are very deeply rooted. Like we think we are humble or prideless, but actually we're not. Or I can think about myself. Many people can say, oh, you're so humble. Yes, come and see me when I talk with my husband. Come and see me when I talk with my auntie or how I deal with them. And then decide whether I'm humble or I'm prideless. No, that's what I'm trying to say is that only the association, but the right kind of association. And when I say the right, I mean with respect, with being able to hear the other person. And it's not just, this is not done just to mentally stimulate our mind. Okay, now some mental exercise, it's more like a develop relationship, to learn to associate. I think there is a quote like that, but we can't get to the quotes because we are stuck on that. But let me see, where was it? To develop, you develop actually relationships through that type of association. You learn how to associate. You are trained in the culture of associating. It's not just I'm gonna associate with you how I wish to. No, I have to learn. I have to teach. I have to train myself how I associate with you, with Vinata, with any devotee, with my husband. Although he's my husband, he's a devotee. With my relatives, because they also chant Hare Krishna, so they are devotees. So yes, I need to train myself, and I need training for that. It's not just okay, mental stimulation. Yes, someone who is mentally, I'm not very intellectual. I'm very practical by nature. I like to do deity worship. I like to sew. I like to garden. That's not my thing. But I think I need it. I need to be trained in that because I don't have that culture. So that's my response. I don't know whether you want to add or say something.
I just would like to say that for my part, I am not doubting the benefit of this, what we are doing. That's why I'm here. And I believe, of course, I firmly believe the benefit of this, and I love to do it. But I'm still not convinced about that exclusively this process can lead us to perfection.
I subscribe.
Oh, okay, all right. So yeah, you think that that's very valuable, but you don't think that only this is the only way.
That yes.
This is the only way. And
Yeah.
I don't say it either. I don't say that this is the only way. Some souls, maybe they will come from previous life very advanced. They learn how to associate. They know they're by nature very polite. They give respect to everyone, even to their most intimate relatives. They don't have problems with the mind. They're very pious souls in our very advanced, not even pious, very advanced souls. Maybe for them, they don't need that training to learn, but maybe they can come and associate with people like us in that way to teach us how to do it. And obviously, this is like the root cause. If you go to that, can you see the verse, the next verse which we're supposed to discuss?
Yeah.
Would you like to read it? Would you like to read it for me? Oh, it's difficult. Shall I read it?
I can read it.
Can you? Yeah. Okay.
The root cause of devotional service to Lord Krishna is association with advanced devotees. Even when one's dormant love for Krishna awakens, association with devotees is still most essential. TC
Yes.
Madhya Lila 2283.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is that this is like the root. This is what holds the whole plant. It's not that the other processes are not important. They are equally important. But this is the root. We need a pure devotee. We established it earlier on. We need a pure devotee. And Vinata, she understood before that that's the caliber of Prabhupada, maybe other pure devotees. But we need someone who we are sure. So we need that for everyone. Doesn't matter who he is. They need the association of Prabhupada. It's like this is the root holding the whole plant. I am a very keen gardener, as you know. So if you have lices on the plant, and if you have mildew, and if you have anything on the leaves, you can spray it. You can the plant. If the root is good, and the soil is good, and the root, then the plant will survive. If the root is rotten, no matter what you do on the leaves, the whole plant will go. And I think that quote here is saying exactly that. If anyone, whoever they are, even if dormant love of Krishna awakens, still we need the association of advanced devotee. And Prabhupada is not just saying, I think he meant himself when he said advanced devotee, definitely. And I have a quote for that. I have to find it out though. It's from Nectar of Instruction, I think, or from Ishupanishad. I have to find it out, and I will send it to both of you, where Prabhupada is saying that unfortunately his god brothers, and I can't quote I can't quote the quote now because I don't have it right away, but I will find it for you and I will send you. Unless you wait for me to search it. I don't know what would you like to do.
No, just send it. I think it's better so we can move on.
Okay, so do you have any doubts about that quote or anything you would like to discuss in particular here? Vinata Prabhu?
I just checked. I like to see this, all these quotes, I like to see them in perspective where they appear.
Yeah.
So I
All
checked
right.
in Madhya, and
Yeah.
so I think that association with devotees is stressed in that part of Madhya, but not only by hearing. Even service, different kind of association with devotees. It says even half a moment, like love matra with a devotee. So there is definitely no time for hearing, repeating, and reflecting back and all these things. So I agree, association of devotees is most important. But
okay.
I have this idea
It's
that
not just hearing. For you, association could be anything, just serving them manually or singing together with them with kirtan or just worshiping the deities, going on Sankirtan. All this is association. Even 1 second for you is also association. Just to see them also is association.
So there is this verse, and in this section of Madhya, there is, after these few verses comes this one, like with this 1 second of with devotees changes your life completely. So what comes to my mind is like Ishvara Puri, who was menially serving Madhavendra Puri when he was leaving the world. And by that service, he gained mercy of the Guru. And by the mercy of the Guru, he got revelations and realizations and advancement. Then there is Dhruva Maharaj, who was not hearing and chanting. He was doing things which were told by his Guru Maharaj, by Narada Muni. and doing like kind of austerity, some yoga, mishra bhakti, and smaranam, and he attained perfection. Like there are different examples in Shastra where it is obvious that there is a variety of ways.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So you're saying yes again. You gave example of Ishvara Puri, who was serving Madhavendra Puri menially towards the end of his life, and that's the way how he attained perfection. Is it said in Chaitanya Charitamrita that that's the way because he served him only menially? Because obviously he was his spiritual master, isn't it? So probably he heard from him as well. It's not that just he was just serving and not hearing from him. I think he did both, definitely.
Yes, but this final service endeared him so much that he got this mercy. Many other his disciples were hearing from him also, but they didn't get that mercy which he got.
Okay, so you're giving different examples of Dhruva Maharaj, who heard his spiritual master instruction, and then he went and performed whatever was necessary, whatever he gave him as an instruction, and then he achieved perfection. Then Ishvara Puri, he served menially, and that actually endeared him so much to Krishna that he did that menial service, that he attained perfection because of that, you're saying.
Endeared him to his spiritual master who gave his mercy.
Okay, not to Krishna, sorry, I didn't understand, my fault. Okay, so endeared him to Madhavendra Puri, and Madhavendra Puri, he gave his mercy, and then, he achieved perfection. Yeah.
Yes.
Akin, do you mind if I share? I need to share that with you because I didn't share it with you. I just shared it with Anandamayi.
Okay.
Because let me just see where it's a little bit long, but the quote, but it's from Bhagavatam 1:12:3. If you want to find it, 1:12:3.
Okay.
Because I think it's important to see all the different lights of vision. And again, I don't say that you can achieve perfection. Ishvara Puri achieve it like that, obviously. And Dhruva Maharaj, yes. But we're talking about, at least I'm talking about jivas like me, who come from a Rakshasa background, meat eaters, who never was trained in proper association, who never was trained to think about God, what to speak, to think personally about God, who was trained in an atheistic view of the life, materialistic. So for that type of devotee, like me, we need a good root, a good association with advanced devotee. It's not just because the famous story when Prabhupada was saying about the fly or the mosquito and saying it's very close to me as well, but it's doing only disturbance. So, I'm talking about devotees who need to be trained to associate properly. For them, they need to do, and I don't exclude the menial service. I don't exclude all the other services. I think that this will actually make my menial service. It's not just I'm gonna serve my spiritual master because I want to be known as very special and very close to him, or whatever my mind try to decoct some decoction makes. This hearing of advanced devotee will make actually my service menial, will make it service actually. Otherwise it might be, I don't know what kind of agenda. We had a devotee here in Bhaktivedanta Manor long time ago. He came to do Pujari service. And the way everyone was amazed by the way how he was performing devotional service, how he was dedicated to the deities. how he was loving to make aratis, the way how he was making aratis. Oh my God, he was like the perfect devotee until the head pujari find out that he is stealing money from the sweets, which the money which the devotees buy sweets, and they keep them in pujari rooms, and they find out that actually he's stealing them. And he was a perfect devotee in any other sense. Oh wow, Linda, can you sit here? Come and say, sorry, someone can come to visit me. This is Govinda. Say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
I
Krishna.
have finished with these messages, and do you have time to wait me? Yeah, okay, sit
Yeah,
down.
but Mommy said I need to go soon.
You need to go soon.
Yeah.
Okay, I will finish in 15 minutes. Do you have 15 minutes?
Okay.
Okay, ask mommy. Go there. Sorry, I'm so sorry. He just came into the room. My husband probably opened the door, my auntie. Yeah, so what I was telling, sorry, he distracted me.
Jari who was stealing money.
So what I'm trying to say is that we do need the root to be healthy, and the root comes with hearing and chanting. That's the root for me, and from advanced devotee, and then we can actually perform everything else perfectly. That's my, and I wanted to read that for you if I can. And okay, Shukadev Goswami. Okay, I don't know where it starts because I just took it. Can you find Shukadev Goswami, Vinata Prabhu? Shukadev imparted transcendental knowledge to Maharaj Parikshit.
Yes.
Can
Yeah.
would you like to read, or shall I read it? What would
You like, I can read. Shukadev
Okay.
Goswami imparted transcendental knowledge to Maharaja Parikshit during the remaining 7 days of his life, and Maharaja Parikshit heard him properly, just like an ardent student. The effect of such a bona fide hearing and chanting of Srimad Bhagavatam was equally shared by both the hearer and the chanter. Both of them were benefited. Out of the 9 different transcendental means of devotional service to the Lord prescribed in the Bhagavatam, either all of them, or some of them, or even one of them are equally beneficial if properly discharged. Maharaja Parikshit and Shukadev Goswami were serious performers of the first 2 important items, namely the process of chanting and the process of hearing, and therefore both of them were successful in their laudable attempt. Transcendental realization is attained by such serious hearing and chanting, and not otherwise. There is a type of spiritual master and disciple much advertised in this age of Kali. It is said that the master injects spiritual force into the disciple by an electrical current generated by the master, and the disciple begins to feel the shock. He becomes unconscious, and the master weeps for his exhausting his store of so-called spiritual assets. Such bogus advertisement is going on in this age, and the poor common man is becoming the victim of such advertisement. We don't find such folk tales in the dealings of Shukadeva Goswami and his great disciple Maharaja Parikshit. The sage recited Srimad Bhagavatam in devotion, and the great king heard him properly. The king did not feel any shock of electrical current from the master, nor did he become unconscious while receiving knowledge from the master. One should not therefore become a victim of this unauthorized advertisement made by some bogus representative of Vedic knowledge. The sages of Naimisharanya were very respectful in hearing about Maharaja Parikshit because of his receiving knowledge from Shukadeva Goswami by means of ardent hearing. Ardent hearing from the bona fide master is the only way to receive transcendental knowledge, and there is no need for medical performances or occult mysticism for miraculous effects. The process is simple, but only the sincere party can achieve the desired result.
Okay, so that was the quote. I think it's interesting that Prabhupada, he's talking about this mysticism where, but there is a notion which when I joined, I remember a lot of devotees in Bulgaria was talking that almost miraculously you wake up Krishna conscious. Your spiritual master, when he's happy with you, and suddenly you be filled with all this ecstasy. But actually, according to that quote, you have to hear. You have to hear. You have to ask questions, sincere questions. You have to do menial service as well, no doubt. But your menial service, it's only meaningful if you hear. Otherwise, there is no meaning of that service. Anyone can come and do that service, and it won't become so dear to spiritual master. The spiritual masters, they don't need our menial service. They come here to give us something, and they want us to receive it. So that's my understanding. But again, I don't force it, or I don't think that it's only one understanding. There must be different angles of vision. And if you think that maybe this is not the way, then okay, maybe this is not for you. I don't know. But I definitely think it's for me. Maybe you're more advanced. You done that in your previous life. You know how to associate. You know how to progress spiritually. Then maybe no. I don't know.
But I think you're mixing it up because Anandamayi already said that
Yes,
she's.
no, I'm not making it up. I'm just saying. I'm saying that if I know that she said, and I know she wants to do it, I'm saying that anyone who think that there are other ways which are achievable and it's not in their capacity, although I don't think that we're here doing some very intellectual, we are not learning shlokas or we are not analyzing, we're just trying to discuss how we understand it and how we gonna apply it. We didn't come to the process even, we're just trying to convince ourselves why we should do it. But the process includes first we say what we understand Prabhupada to mean, then we discuss it, and then at the end there is application. How this is going to change my life, how I'm going to apply. And I think that's applicable for everyone. I don't know. What do you think? What do you say?
Let's Anandamayi.
I think we just have to do it and go on and see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be convinced about the efficiency of this process, what we are doing here. I'm still just holding that Shravanam, Kirtanam and proper hearing can happen also through chanting Hare Krishna, properly hearing the holy name. That is also the root cause of devotional service. Besides all this, what we are doing. So I'm still holding, but maybe I will be convinced otherwise as we go on. But for now, I'm not yet convinced that this is the only way.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Okay. So we can address it further if that's all right.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
also
mother.
don't think that.
Okay. Sorry.
I don't think that this conviction is necessary for doing it. If we agree that this is the only way, if we agree that this is good for us, that we want to do it. So, what does it mean if we agree that it is the only way, or if we don't agree that it is the only way? We want to do it.
I think more. If I'm understanding properly, Anandamayi, if I'm understanding, you say that if I'm understanding you or not, is because you want to share it with other devotees, and obviously for you there is no doubt you would like to do it, and you think it's the value you understand the value of it. But if you would like to share it with other devotees who, in your opinion, maybe are not that intellectually inclined, maybe it will be difficulty. There will be difficulty there. Is that the way you're coming from, or not really, or just for yourself, for your own self, you want to get?
Of course, I can only share what I'm convinced about. So as I said, I'm convinced about the value of what we are doing here, but I'm still not convinced about the exclusive value of it.
Exclusive. All right. Okay. All right. Then we can continue, and you see for yourself whether you're gonna be convinced.
Let's just do it, and
whether
then
whether you have to be convinced or you don't have to be convinced. It's I think it's a word. I'm not gonna look for it now, but maybe Vinata will help us with that. Bhagavatam, the Prahlada Maharaj, which verse was that where he explains the 9 processes of devotional service? Which were the verses? Do you remember them?
The 7th canto.
Yeah, 7. But anyway, I will try to look them, and I will just post you. You can look the purport there, and I think there Prabhupada explains. You can look that the gradation of it. That first is hearing, and once you are kind of a perfected, or not once you're perfected, but you can't chant properly unless you hear properly. But I have to look the purport. But I think there is a gradation where he kind of like every other process is it's how this it's building on top of the other. But anyway, I will look and I will find out for you, but for next time, because now it's already 8:30.
I think that in that purport, Prabhupada is talking about the same thing that he's talking in one purport of Upadeshamrita. And this is Shravana Dasa, Panadasa, Varana Dasha, and all this stuff, which is actually development on the level of Bhava. And it is another thing. I think that there Prabhupada speaks how it progresses from one to another.
Okay, we'll maybe for the next time we will take the verse. Maybe you also get your Bhagavatam 7 canto where Prahlad Maharaj talks about it, and then we can open the Bhagavatam and just read there to see exactly what he says. But I pretty sure remember that there was like a gradation on the top of each other, like like the chanting comes on top of hearing, kind of, not on top, but it's not the right word, but it's like as a result of hearing. As a result of hearing, then you start chant. As a result of hearing and chanting, then you have smaranam. And as a result of smaranam, then the other ones are performed nicely. So we can look that if you would like.
Sure, if you think that is important, we can look.
What do you think, Anandamayi? Vinata Prabhu.
Of course. Look, let's look everything. I will also
Yeah, it's nice to have different angles of vision, because then we can actually see the truth as it is, not just from one-sided, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
And Prabhupada also stresses so many times that just by chanting Hare Krishna we can attain all perfection, isn't it?
Yes, but there is,
and that is also
share that
hearing,
with you.
chanting and hearing.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And there is something which I need to share with you.
I will just tell you that this verse in 7th canto is 7:5, 23 to 24.
Okay, let's write it down so we have it for the next time. Let me, here in my book. 7, what did you say?
5, 23 to 24.
7, 5, 23 to 24. You please read it at home in your own private time, and then we can come together. We can discuss that. But I want to just share something with Anandamayi, which it might be of. Let me see if I have it here, because sometimes I have lots of them, but it's in the 2nd canto, but which verse it is now? Okay, I have to find that also for you. Prabhupada says there that when 236, no.
No, here you are. Yeah.
He says there that when we talk about kirtanam, it doesn't mean just chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but also hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and discussing. It's in 2nd canto, but I don't remember exactly the verse, and I can't find it now that easily, unfortunately. No, no, can't find it. I have to, yeah, I have to look for it. Can you see my? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Chanting. Chanting. Bhagavatam. See, I'm chanting Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita.
You know, in this purport, in the seventh canto, while you are looking for that, Prabhupada says the different processes initiated by Prahlad Maharaja, who learned them from Narada Muni, may not at all be required for the execution of devotional service. If a devotee performs only one of these 9 without deviation, he can attain the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes it is found that when one performs one of the processes, other processes are mixed with it. That is not improper for a devotee. When a devotee executes any one of the 9 processes, this is sufficient. The other 8 processes are included.
Yes, that is in the beginning, and then he goes to explain about hearing of each of the processes separately. And when he speaks about hearing, he explains that without hearing, you can have you have to read the whole. It's a long purport. That's why I said better read it at home, and then we can come to the conclusion. But I want to try to find for you Bhagavatam. Let's see if I will be able to find that for Anandamayi or have to. No, I can't have. I can't find it now. No point. It's already late, and.
Can you, when you find it later, can you send just
Yes,
the reference,
yes,
and then
I will definitely. I will
can
look,
look at.
but just I have to look for that. Let me check it. Okay, let me one last thing. I'll try. Okay, chanting Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam together. Let's see if I'm gonna find it like that. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, 53. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. I know it's from second canto.
What are you looking for?
It's a purport where Prabhupada says that when we talk about chanting, it doesn't mean just the 16 syllables Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but also means hearing and discussing or hearing and chanting Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
It's in the purport. Yeah.
But that's both of these things are.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. But I can't find it now, so I have to again. It has to be. I will send it to you, Anandamayi. I will send it to you when I find it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then okay. So next time, I hope we're not gonna have any issues with all that Skype. Now everything is set. So when we gonna do it next time? Because Friday.
Okay, so
Friday, actually in the evening, it turns out that I cannot do it because actually I forgot that me and my husband, we have a discussion with a devotee friend, a couple, husband and wife from Portugal. So we do it every Friday in the evening and I completely space out. And today I have to phone them and apologize thousands of times just not to mess up our discussion here. So then I cannot do it in the evening. So it has to be either other evening or other afternoon.
Okay, so for me, unfortunately, in January, the Fridays, I'm always at work till 9 in the evening, my time. So, but from February, I already asked the Fridays off the afternoons, so we can go back to the normal schedule from February. But until, for example, next week, practically every day could be good for me except this Friday.
So,
Exactly
Vinata
on
Prabhu,
Friday, I'm not.
how about you? I can
Friday
do
and
it
Sunday.
maybe Wednesday or Thursday afternoons. I can do it also.
Mm-hmm.
For this month,
Yeah,
like
this month.
for this month, yes, Wednesday, Thursday I cannot. Wednesday I could do, but after 5, my 5,
Mm-hmm.
5.
from 5 onwards.
So it has to be again at 7 o'clock.
You mean 8, hour 8?
Yeah, 7 May, because if I can't say earlier because my husband goes Wednesday on dialysis, so I'm not completely sure when he finishes. I can't say, he might finish 5, he might finish 5:30, he might finish 6. Today he finished like 6:15, so I cannot. It has to be after 7 my time. So if you are happy with that, we can just for January schedule it in the Wednesday 7 o'clock my time, 8 yours, and then on next month we can go back on Friday. Yeah.
I will not be able to go back on Friday.
No.
No, I have Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu course on Friday. I cannot change that. I enrolled in that course, Northern and Western Ocean, and it will go on a few months till the end of till May, every Friday.
Okay. So, Anandamayi Prabhu, can you change the Friday then?
Unfortunately, I will have to wait until the schedule is out for the work, because I asked for the Friday afternoons, but maybe I can ask for another afternoon then, not the Friday. If you say which day would be good for you.
So I don't know. It's up to you, Vinata Prabhu. You say
Yeah, for me, we can stay. I could stay with Wednesday.
Wednesday, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, if we cannot do it earlier, then 7 o'clock. Yes.
I can do it earlier, but before 5. After 5, between 5 and 7, I have to pick up every single Wednesday my husband from dialysis, so I have to.
Your 5 or our 5?
My 5, I'm talking. My 5. So it's 6 yours.
So if we start at your 4, that's our 5.
Yes, we can do that.
Yeah, so
We
I
can
could,
do.
yeah. So either that.
Tuesday would not be good for you. Tuesday.
I have lectures every Tuesday.
She has lectures, and I have another discussion with my god sister on Tuesday. We do the discussion. And Monday.
Anyway, I try. I don't know if I can get Wednesdays free for the evening. I try.
Afternoons.
Because usually the weekends I get free for the afternoon. Because usually I work in the afternoons. That's the problem, from 3 to
Okay, then
9.
what we can do, if we cannot settle on a day, then we can split maybe. I can do, and then I won't take anyone else for now. I can do it. Let's try like that. If you cannot, Anandamayi Prabhu, I can do Friday with you next month, and I'll continue with Vinata Prabhu on 4 to 5 my time on Wednesday. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I prefer to be, to be together, so I don't have to spread myself so much. But if we cannot find an agreement, then I can try. At least I can try.
If we can wait a little bit with the settlement until I find out if I can. But this I will only find out about the middle of the month.
right.
if I can get Wednesdays free or not.
Okay, but for now, for this month, Wednesday is okay, you said, yeah?
Yes, it is. It is good for me. Yes, Wednesday.
But 7 o'clock, because you said you can't do it before that.
Yeah.
Before,
So our 8 o'clock.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it's
Okay,
good
so
for me.
for January, we're just settling it from 7 till 8 my time, and yours
Yep.
is 8 till 9, and we will start on time, so you don't have to go so late to bed or something like that, because obviously it's not fair on you. Okay, so.
Oh, it's
And
on.
I just have one
Yeah.
question, that what we
Yes.
do when we have this kind of because the whole thing is so interactive, and of course we come up with questions and doubts, and I really like that. It's important for me as well. So what we do to advance also with the program and at the same time have space for these discussions?
I think what we can do is just go through the quotes every time. We can cover 1 or 2 quotes. And then if you have questions towards the end, maybe we can read the quote. I can tell you what I think and what is my understanding. And then maybe you can say what you understand. And then if there are any questions, we can cover. But sometimes the problem, Anandamayi, is that if the doubts are serious, or they're deep, or they're strong, and they need to be addressed, and sometimes it's not so easy to address them. It takes time. Sometimes on our discussions with my husband, we can stay days on one sentence, just because we cannot either come to agreement, or sometimes we have to agree to disagree. It means, okay, I understand that in that way, you understand it in that way, let's move on and be respectful and kind and sweet and nice to each other, and continue to hear from Prabhupada, and we just agree to disagree. That's it. We have different understanding, and it's not bad to have a different understanding. Actually, it's encouraged. It's encouraged to, because we anyway have our different understandings, isn't it? No matter
of course,
what,
of course.
whoever tells us, no matter who tells us what, we still have to process it with our mind and come to a conclusion for ourselves. So we're gonna have it anyway. So but we're gonna go with the program slowly. I hope you're gonna arm yourself with patience, because actually this process is more to develop quality than to cover material. It's just to develop relationships and quality. And material, it's okay. We're gonna cover it anyway.
Okay, that's fine with me. I just don't want to feel guilty that I'm taking everybody's time with questions. But if you're happy with it, then all right, then it's
I'm
very
okay.
fine
I
with
don't know how Vinata, are you benefiting from that Vinata Prabhu, or not really?
Yes.
How do you feel? Yeah. I think we are benefiting. It's not just because you have the doubt, we are not benefiting at all. We have to research all together, help each other to find the quotes. And, we all benefiting. We all hear from Prabhupada, and we all associate. So, you don't have to feel guilty. You have to feel happy. And you said you feel happy most of the time. So don't let the guilty feeling spoil your nice
happiness.
Yeah, happiness. Okay, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for bringing all the quotes and for helping me out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. See you.
Hare Krishna. See
Hare
you.
Bol.
Wednesday. Hare Bol.
Yes.
Hare Bol.